The other day, Jaybratt uploaded a video featuring several headphone solutions for the Meta Quest 3. Some of them worked on the Quest 2. Did they work on the Quest 3? He gave us his thoughts, but he didn't list my favorite solutions. So this video is a tutorial on how to install those headphones, where you can get them. You'll find links in the description. I don't get a cut off of that at all. It's just the best solution. You guys are watching Bringhurst VR. Here are the reasons why the headphones for the Vive Cosmos are my go-to solution, and why I think everyone should have them. I don't know why you don't have them. I do know why you don't have them. A, because they're hard to find, and B, because they're roughly $50, $60, $65, because iFixit doesn't have them. eBay is the only place I've found. If you're familiar with the Vive Deluxe audio strap, then these will look familiar. They pop up, they pop down, they swivel left and right, back and forth. The thing that makes this different from the Vive Deluxe audio strap is the fact that they clip on. So this lifts up and then you can pull them off. Snap it back on. Now, sound for sound, decibel for decibel, they're about as loud as the previous Vive Deluxe audio strap. And for the Meta Quest 3, finding a headphone solution, which in my mind, it has to have a few things. I'd like them to be able to flip up and down, not only because it's convenient, but also when charging on a dock. Sometimes, if the headphones aren't positioned correctly, they'll interfere with charging. And so you want to adjust them, flip them before you drop it down to charge. These meet that criteria. Additionally, I'd like them to be modular, easy to put on, easy to take off. They do that. They apply very easily, with one caveat, which I'll talk about in a bit. Additionally, they need to sound good. Now, these are not audiophile solutions. They sound about as good as the Vive Deluxe audio strap did, which if you've used that, you know that it's good. It's just fine. It's got a little bit of bass. It's clear, but more than anything, it doesn't sound bad. And if you're playing in a house with a lot of people, it restricts the audio to just you. The same can't be said with the stock audio piped from the headset. The same can't be said with those earmuffs that kind of take that live audio and pipe it to your ears. I mean, I imagine that for someone that is doing the trick, I think it looks stupid. I think that it is inconvenient to you and to everyone around you. Now, on the Meta Quest 2, I think Kiwi had a solution that was not dissimilar from this, but they never dropped it for the Meta Quest 3. The same can be said for the Bionic. For all these different headphones, which watch his video, you know, he talks about it. If you have questions, he hits it up. But there is only one pair of headphones that does what I need. Now, in a perfect world, iFixit would sell it for $45. But I've been buying these and installing them for me, for friends, for about 8 months now. And the only place I ever find it is eBay. Now, on the Quest Pro, Globular Cluster had come out with headphones that did nearly the same thing as this, and I liked those. I pushed those. I loved it. But they never came out with anything for the Meta Quest 3, and I spoke to the developers over there. I have something of a relationship with those people, and he had told me that the Quest was so loud already, that the drivers were so good, that installing headphones, in his mind, defeated the purpose. Why would you want headphones if it can't be as loud as what the Quest produces? That was his take on it. And he's not wrong. These headphones, since they're not powered headphones, they just rely on the 3.5 millimeter, they are not as loud as the stock audio. They're just not. But when plugged in, they are loud enough. It's never going to hurt my ears, and I always use it at 100%, but my kids don't like it at 100%. They think it's too loud. But all I'm saying is that, no, it's not as loud. What you're getting for it is a kind of modular design that restricts the audio to you. So I can play downstairs in the corner, you know, while my wife is watching TV, and I'm not going to bother her. She can't hear my audio. There really is nothing else like it. I imagine that, well, no, I don't imagine. It's been almost a year, and Kiwi hasn't made it, Globular Cluster hasn't made it, AMVR hasn't made it, Bobo VR hasn't made it. I haven't found anyone who's making what I need. And so when I found out that these headphones fit perfectly, just done. But there's more than just that. They're actually built in such a way that the audio port aligns. You know how with the Meta Quest 3, the port was on both sides of it, and so it didn't matter where it was. And it kind of put everyone in a tough spot when it came time to use headphones that would only plug in on the left side, which is not uncommon. But these headphones happen to plug in on the right, so they happen to fit the MetaQuest 3 perfect. Now, in my experience, to get these to fit, I'm using the Bobo VR S3 Pro right now, but these will work on just about any head strap, including the stock Meta, including the Meta Elite, including Kiwi. It will work on all of those. It's going to go on the thinner metal band, but the way that these clasp, in my experience, and what I was told to do when I was first lost in the abyss of Reddit, is to take, in my case, nail clippers and cut a little bit of the plastic off so the locking mechanism fits over the band that goes around your head. Now, I did that with no issue, and just looking at it, the second you have the headphones and you attempt to put it on, if you find any resistance, it's not difficult. You look at it and say, oh, there's this little length of plastic right here, very small, and that's interfering with the closing mechanism. So you just take nail clippers and you trim it, you cut it. And it's hard to convey that here in this video, because I don't have a pair on me that aren't modified to compare with, but more than that, it's so small, and it really is just feeling it out, trying to close it, and gauging where the problem lies, if there is a problem. Now, I said that I had trimmed it to make it fit. I did. But the other day, I had someone in Discord who had asked which model I used. I told him, I gave him instructions, but he just said, screw it, and he put them on. He says they fit perfect. So try it for yourself and see. Either it will work right out the gate, or a little trimming and you're done. And that trimming I mentioned is really the extent of the modding that's required. There's nothing else. As far as getting these on the headset, I have a method as far as where the wiring goes and cleaning it up. I want something pretty and practical. And so in my case, making sure that they're on the right way, you begin with the headphone that has the audio port on it. That's going to go on the right-hand side, and then leave the audio plug alone. From there, you're going to take the wire that leads to the left-handed audio, and you're going to just tuck it underneath whatever knob you happen to be using. In my case, the Bobo VR S3 Pro. Tuck it around and guide the other headphone to the opposite side. Because in my case, and in a lot of these, there's going to be a cable going from the battery in the back to the front of the headset with the USB-C port. And so I take that headphone that's winding around the back, and I take that cable and I loop the headphone around the existing power cable a few times. And that way I have something that approximates a single cable. You attach that headphone, and then from there, the last thing to do is to take that audio port and get it plugged into the right-hand side. You could just plug it in and you're done, but I'm a little more picky. I mentioned that I want some kind of cable management. And so what I do is I take the Halo strap and whatever strap you happen to be using, and I just lift it slightly so that there's a gap between the headset and the Halo design. And I loop that 3.5 millimeter cable around the arm, and then from there, reach around, plug it in. And that just gets rid of a little bit of excess cable. That's about perfect. Loop it twice and it's the perfect length. But depending on what head strap you're using, make whatever changes you need. You will want to loop it or guide it just to get rid of what is probably 2 inches of cable, but you're still not done. Okay, you've done that. Good job. You're doing great. The last thing to do is to tighten the head strap as far as it will go, make it as small as possible, and then extend it out. Chances are that when you extend it out, you're going to find that somewhere the cable is too taut and it won't go far enough. Don't force it, okay? Stop where you are. From there, there are 2 things that you can do. One, you want to make sure that the excess cable that you looped around that front arm is as taut in the front leading to the port as possible, with slack wherever you looped it to the plug that plugs into the headphones. Next, you want to take the headphones and guide them back as far as they'll go. At least in my case with the Bobo VR S3 Pro. Slide them back as far as they'll go. Now you've got that excess slack. Open it as far as you can, and you should find that it fits perfectly, that you can open it and close it, make it as big as you need, as tight as you need, and you're not going to pull anything, you're not going to rip anything. It's perfect. And that's it. Depending on what headset you're using, head strap, you may need to go about this a different way, but the core principles are there. I hope you found it helpful. I appreciate you guys being here. Let me know if you have any questions. Links for this will be in the description. Last time I checked, it was roughly 60 bucks, and it's stayed roughly that for about the last 8 months. Thank you for being here. I hope you guys found this helpful. You guys have a great day.